Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Jennifer, and we are a middle aged couple with a Regal Unlimited subscription and an unrelenting fetish for movie theater popcorn.
Unrelenting. We continue to eat popcorn long after it's not good for us.
Well, that's most days.
Yeah. Anyway, so we make a video for every movie we see in 2026 together. And tonight we went to the mystery movie again and saw They Will Kill You. I always look at you like you're going to say the name of the film. You
Yeah,
never do.
because
Okay.
that's your job.
Okay. So this is a crazy action horror comedy movie, and it's way over the top. We are going to spoil the entire movie.
But
Just
we're going to say first that you should go see it. And if you
yeah,
think you're going to go see it, you should probably just turn this off.
yes, because there are real spoilers for this. They're not like the end of the world spoilers, but they're fun moments in the movie, and you will enjoy seeing them firsthand more than hearing us tell you about them.
Well, and the movie isn't really anything else besides these fun moments. So it's not like it has some deeper message or some deeper thing going on. So if you know about these fun moments, then like that's kind of like the whole point of watching the movie. So
What can we say before the spoiler offense? So
um
this movie is ridiculously violent,
yes.
way over the top,
Is very over the top violent,
cartoonishly so.
cartoonishly, but also very graphically.
Yes.
And that if you saw the trailer and you thought of it like I did as sort of like John Wick of like just there's a zillion people that'll come out and I gotta kill these people and I probably have some mission that explains why I gotta kill these people, but really the point of watching the movie is like I've organized in really interesting ways to see people like smush other people or kill other people. That's right. That's this movie.
Yeah,
You're not mistaken.
you're
That's
not.
the movie.
There is more to it.
There's
but
a slight bit more to it
yeah,
than that, but
the
that
purpose
is
of the movie.
that is the
Yes.
purpose of the movie, and I think it's very well done. Now, I don't see a whole lot of these movies. Like, to be honest, what I'm literally comparing this movie to is John Wick, and if John Wick is the greatest movie ever made, this is the greatest movie ever made. They're the same fucking movie, and it's really awesome, and I loved it.
Well, you love John Wick, yeah.
I really enjoy the John
Yes.
Wick movies. I do. But like the world really only needed one of them, right? There's like five of them. And, like whatever. But like
You
this
think is this better than the ballerina?
light years better.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean
Um,
this is I really, really liked this movie.
Great. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It's absolutely fun if you can stomach the blood and guts. Um, I have seen a lot of these kind of movies, and so I was not quite as impressed as
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah. I think
But
somebody who actually watches these movies, it's not nearly as novel as it was for
but
me.
this is pretty much top notch on the gore effects. Yeah, I would say that. And there are some really fun things in choices in this movie that yeah we really enjoyed. So that's it. Spoilers now. For the rest of this video, we are going to spoil the entire movie. So honestly, it is worth seeing, with no foreknowledge.
Beyond the trailer.
Yeah, go see it. Come back. Our video will still be here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now you've been warned. So, well, A, it's Satanists, but that you gotta get that out of the trailer.
Yeah.
However, they are immortal Satanists.
Yes. That is like the bonkers reveal, right?
Yes,
like
the first
so
one.
she's like the maid in this hotel. The maids are the sacrifice. Like the commercial tells you that. The commercial shows you her fighting all these people in like Satanist hoods and stuff. And the beginning of the movie, she like kills the fuck out of all of them. Like great. And
Severed
then
limbs.
yeah, just like they're dead, severed
Arterial
head,
spray.
severed limbs, like just
Stab, stab, stab.
stab, super stab, many
Shotgun
stab,
blast to the face,
like
etc., etc.
they're toast. And then they walk out the fucking room because they're immortal.
Yes, carrying their severed body parts
And then stick them back on
and stick them back on.
in ways that I thought actually looked really cool. Like visually looked interesting.
So it turns out that she's not just here to work as a housemaid. She is does in fact have a mission. So her little sister, who she failed to save when she was a child, is trapped in this house, this building somewhere. It's not a hotel; it's a apartment building.
Yeah.
And she has to save her little sister. So that means somehow overcoming these immortal Satanists who are actively trying to kill her. Except then we find out they're not trying to kill her because they need her alive for the sacrifice.
Exactly.
So what proceeds next is a whole bunch of hitting people with flaming axes and stabbing them with machetes and
chopping running after each other and going through this building and all the levels of this building. There's this really visually interesting sequence. I thought it was visually interesting, where she ends up in a literal crawl space in the building, and they end up having a chase in the crawl space. Yeah. So she's crawling and everybody else is crawling, and they don't look ridiculous. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like cartoony, like it looks awkward and like menacing and goofy and interesting.
But it's incredibly tense.
You know, it's almost like they're in a space that is like a normal size, and then you know, because some of the shots are like you see their heads, you know, the person's head, and the camera's following their head, so they could be walking down a hallway, and then it's like, no, they are still crawling down in this crawl space, like just fabulous, like lots of interesting shots like that. And that to me is what like makes movies like this, you know, like yeah, the violence and like, you know, because the bad guys are all immortal, they, you know, parts go flying, and then the parts themselves will move because any part of the body continues to have life. So there's like a walking eye.
Heather Graham's eyeball.
One of Heather Graham's eyeballs
somehow balanced its way up an elevator shaft, which was fascinating.
Yeah, and is watching and seeing what's going on because somehow it still works. And, you know, no other body part like is nearly that autonomous that we see, but whatever. Doesn't matter because it's crazy and it looks cool. And, you know, then the bodies like start regenerating, right? So you get these like, you know, half functioning bodies like walking around or limping around or running into things because they can't see because they don't have heads and stuff. And but again, done in visually interesting ways. Again, I don't watch movies like this all the time, so maybe other people have used these same kinds of effects and I just don't know it. But I thought it looked really interesting. And that's what I'm looking for. Like, it does not have a particularly deep plot. In some ways, it is like Mad Max Fury Road. What is the plot of Mad Max Fury Road? Go far, survive, come back. That's what happens inside this building. You know, like kind of run. Oh, we can't go any farther. It isn't a literal line of like one way and the other way, but it's very much that like, I'm just going to keep running and there's really nowhere to actually go. There is a fight along the way. There's a fight at the end of the hall. And then I go to another floor and then I go to this and then, you know, but it's like, it's just like running and chasing, murdering, like visually interesting murdering, jumping, flames, great music. Like the music probably didn't really particularly speak to you.
It did.
The music is like amazing and like very well chosen to go with stuff. And yeah, I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Violence galore.
So,
and lots and lots of women doing violence.
Yes.
Right? It's not just the one damsel in distress who is like butch enough to fight back.
Yes.
There are multiple evil women. Patricia Arquette, like, you know, in the end becomes like, is not just evil, but becomes this like force to fight that she has to fight against. Heather Graham. There's a bunch of other maids in the building who it turns out have joined this Satanist cult as well. So they need to get killed. There's a whole bunch more Satanists than you realize who are, you know, basically just faceless people in robes. But it's clear some of them are female, some of them are male. Like you just fight everybody.
There are a couple ideas in this movie that didn't get developed that I thought could have been more developed. So.
There is a walking Deus Ex Machina who is a black man, which is amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, considering that the heroes of the movie are all black. But Yeah, and he claims he has a good reason for helping them. He does not. Nope, does not have a good reason.
There may be
if
a
there
reason
was in
we
the
never
script
see it.
originally, it got taken out of the script.
Yeah, it's not in the movie.
There's this idea that if they can just make it to the top of the building, there's an elevator shaft. There's a roof access ladder that they can escape through. I never see it. It does not appear in the movie ever again. And there's this idea, the biggest idea of the movie that they didn't bother to actually shoot, is that every floor of this building is devoted to a different sin.
Yeah.
So the second floor is the fuck floor.
Mm-hmm.
So
that you see a little smidge of.
You see for 2 seconds, and then it doesn't matter.
And you see equipment in rooms on that floor.
Yeah. And there's a bit of like bondage gear in the movie, but it's nothing serious. And then you get to the third floor, which is clearly the gluttony floor, because where all the kitchens are. It does not come up.
Yeah.
There's a big dining room, but there's no piles of food in it or anything.
Yeah.
There's no people disgustingly devouring entrails or anything.
Yeah.
It's just, it's obviously the food floor, but don't worry about it. And that's it. And we never see another floor of the building.
The sins,
until we see the very top floor, the attic of the whole building, which is kept very cold for a good reason, but also because in Dante's Inferno, the lowest level of hell where Satan lives.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Cana is frozen, solid. The joke being that after all the fires of hell, the worst part of it is cold.
Well, the worst part of it is the distance from God, and the distance from God is what makes you the coldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God being
in the Inferno.
God being the first law of thermodynamics, I guess. Anyway, so
in the Inferno, God is just God.
God is just God, and Satan is just Satan. Satan's a big guy with 3 mouths who's eating 3 traitors.
Yeah.
In this case, Satan is
a pig's head.
It's a giant pig's head on a stick.
On a stick that is like alive and like has the names of everybody that's joined this cult written on its skin.
Yes, on the head of the pig.
Yeah.
And the pig can lick off a name, like erase the name with its tongue, and then that person becomes vulnerable and can be killed. So there's a whole lot of foo-for-ah at the end about whose name is on the pig's head and whose isn't. It doesn't matter. Zazie Beets sets the pig's head on fire.
Because that's the only way to actually kill them is if you have to make sure there is...
You have to erase their names. Yeah.
Not just erase their names, but then you have to make sure that there is nothing left. So just cutting something up or killing it doesn't kill it. You basically have to incinerate it. Now, of course, setting a pig's head on fire, if that was enough to incinerate it, there would be no bacon. So, we're not going to worry about like the logic of that. Just somehow it absolutely incinerates the pig's head.
I don't think she was killing Satan by setting that thing on fire.
Well,
it just because
forcing Satan back into it
was made very clear that the pig's head is not Satan itself. The pig's head is
inhabited by Satan.
Being possessed by Satan,
Yeah.
and we actually see Satan through a stained glass window, which is a really cool moment in the film.
Yeah,
and very good special effects involved. Yeah, and it's so much creepier than I expected it to be. Yeah, we both thought it was just going to be some guy in a suit who'd be like very charming and urbane, and then tell them all to kill each other.
I think what I was thinking was what's his butt in The Devil's Advocate.
Okay, Al Pacino.
Al Pacino, The Devil's Advocate. Like I was thinking it would be something like that, and I was going to be very disappointed.
I was thinking of Piers Stormare in Constantine.
That's what I was thinking. Yes.
Actually, that movie does some fun things with costuming to make him a little more interesting than just a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
But but that's what I was expecting. No, it's a pig's head on a stick, and the pig's head animates, and oh my god,
and is
does
fucking
some messed
creepy.
up shit.
Does seriously
Holy
messed
cow.
up stuff. Yeah.
It is so worth seeing just for that final scene.
Yeah. That and the scene where she's fighting in obviously the dining room or the ballroom or whatever, and there's like this flaming axe and stuff.
Yeah, with the flaming axe.
Yeah, that sequence.
It's a great set piece.
Just fucking love that.
Oh my!
There's no reason for it. There's no reason for any of this.
The
none
first
of like
fight when
it just
when they originally come to
and the
her,
first fight
that
also.
is a great scene.
But a bunch of that is in the trailer.
Yes.
And I had kind of thought that like with many movies, it had squandered its best moments in the trailer. It really did not. That was an amazing set piece.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other ones. Like, yeah, this movie is great. I really enjoy this movie.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
For what it is.
Solid.
For what it is. You know? But it is disgusting.
Oh, so gross.
Really disgusting. You know,
so gross.
Dave knows, like, really, like, that's not actually my thing. And so, you know, like, kind of halfway through, he's like, how you doing? I'm like, good. And that it's just before, you asked me that just before the set piece with in the ballroom and stuff,
mm-hmm.
where I just started giggling hysterically because I'm like, this is amazing. I love this. Nobody else was there with me. I don't think the rest of the world enjoyed this movie the same way I did, which is just like, I'm just wrong, right? Like, everybody loved Project Hail Mary. I'm like, okay. And I love this shit, and like, I think this movie is gonna like go kaplooey. Like,
yeah, no, this will stick without a trace. It's an absolute exploitation movie. It's meant to be an exploitation movie. It's for a certain type of person, and it's not going to appeal to anybody else.
Well, and half the people who it should appeal to, I think, are not going to like it because it's a black girl, and most of everybody else are also girls, right? Like, this is John Wick. This is literally the same fucking movie. Like,
these movies not like black girls.
I know you do. It's like it's like 4 notches more violent, right? So it's not going to be nearly as mass market, but it's the same motherfucking movie. Instead of a puppy, it's my sister. You know, like, instead of my wife, or I have to avenge my dead wife, it's my sister. Like, it's the same movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good. No, this was definitely worth seeing. Well, is there anything else to talk about this? Because
the thing is, it is
all the cool things in this movie.
Yeah, it's visually interesting. It's fun.
Every moment of this,
Patricia Arquette is really great and really creepy.
This is absolutely trying to riff on early Quentin Tarantino.
Sort of.
Including like all the time jumps and the bare feet.
Mm-hmm.
Zazie Beets goes through the entire
fights
film
the
with
whole
her
fucking
feet
movie barefoot.
And does half the movie in her panties.
No, it's just that first sequence.
Yeah.
That first sequence.
That's like half an hour long, though.
It's not. It just feels that way.
Okay.
No, it's the first sequence, and then as soon as she, like, you know, thinks she's killed everybody, she puts on her pants, right? Like, they jump her while she's asleep, right? So she's sleeping in her underwear, a t-shirt and underpants. And then she thinks she's killed everybody. She's like, okay, I'm going to put on my pants and then go figure out what's going on. Her shoes are destroyed in this fight. So, like, you see why she doesn't put on shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And then other insanity ensues. And there's, you know, no more opportunity for new clothes and shoes. But, yeah, no, the whole thing of it. I totally enjoyed it, loved it. The sister that's in it is the woman who's in industry. Mm-hmm. That I've never seen. I've just seen her talked about on the interwebs. And she was good. She had a kind of a small part in it, but she was good. And I don't know, there was a Volkswagen Golf at the end of it. I think of those fondly. I had a boyfriend in college that had a Volkswagen Golf.
Okay.
I haven't seen one of those cars in 20 years.
My sister had a Volkswagen Rabbit.
Yeah.
She called it Eddie Rabbit.
Yeah.
You kind of have to.
Anyway, it seems like a logical thing to call it,
but you know, rather than repping the Volkswagen Corporation, we should probably finish this video. So this will be on the shorter side, but honestly, there's not a lot to this movie.
Stabby stab,
what is
blood,
good,
gross,
is really well
kick
done,
ass,
and if you like
looks
that sort
amazing,
of thing, it's great.
It's totally nuts. It's like exciting.
Having seen a bunch of these kind of films in the last couple of years, especially as mystery movies. So we saw Boy Kills World.
Yes.
We saw Novocaine.
Yes.
I think there's another one in there somewhere, but just these like very hyper stylish, hyper violent movies.
Mm-hmm.
This was the best of the bunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're only going to see one movie where there's more arterial spray in a given scene than there is sense or plot, this is it.
This is it. This is it.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
All right. So, until next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.